if I let go, I think it might fall. Hey everybody, my name is Kelsey and I'm here with my husband Dennis today, and we have some exciting news. We have been married for 10 years. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot.
I cannot.
Crazy.
It's wild. So we are going to just talk about all of the things that we've learned over the last 10 years of being married and hanging out together every day. And in the process, we are going to play some Jenga. So keeping it exciting, keeping it fresh, and a little bit competitive at the same time. So Dennis, go right ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yes, you can start it off. Let's see.
Right.
I'm actually a little bit nervous right now. Wow, going from the top, bold move. So Dennis, tell the world, how did we meet?
Kels and I met in college. So I'm a year older than Kels. So I was a sophomore when she came in as a freshman. And the first time I noticed her was when she was shooting baskets, because we both played basketball. So I was in the weight room, I saw her out there, and I was like, who is that?
I think the exact quote that you told me was, "Who is that girl in the ankle braces?"
That is correct. I guess I was very much drawn to the ankle braces.
They're super cute. And they were also required by my basketball coach. But yeah, so we met, that was what, 2007?
2007, yeah.
That was my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Moved from Minnesota all the way to California.
Yeah, so we were friends for an entire year. We hung out quite a bit in groups, and then my junior year, your sophomore year, we started dating. People always ask when we knew. I would say pretty quick.
Probably, honestly, about 3 months in. Because I remember in December of that year, we'd been dating since October. In December, I was at home for Christmas, and we were like Skyping. That was before Zooming. And so we were
on Skype.
Yeah, we were on Skype, and we like wanted to say I love you and all of that, but we were like, okay, let's wait until we get back together.
Yeah, so you flew back Christmas Day. That was the first time we said I love you. We were engaged within 8 months of dating, and then we were engaged for a year, got married right after school.
So I was 21, you were 22.
22, yeah.
And now you're almost 32.
I'm 32 right now.
You are 32 right now. That's perfect. So Den, what are some of your most fond memories? Is it my turn? Or did I just like steal your turn?
I don't know.
You can go.
Sure.
So what are some of your fondest memories?
Sharing is important in marriage.
Big life lesson.
Fondest memories. We've done a lot together. We've lived in a lot of places. We've traveled a ton. Yeah, it's been, it's funny when you said 10 years, I'm like, man, I can remember celebrating our 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when you're married, people will always say like, oh, just wait, you'll be at 10 years in no time. And I remember people said that at our 1 year, our 5 year, and now it's like, now we're at 10. Yeah, I'd say my favorite memories are just like traveling together and just being able to work side by side every single day with you. Yeah,
we've been lucky enough to go a lot of places, and I think some of that was kind of just being, dude, don't knock it over. I think some of that was, this is getting it's really wobbly. No, some of our travels and adventures and business stuff has been, you are so lucky. It's been great because part of it, we were so young that we just didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And so I think that like played in our favor sometimes, because we were just like, why not? Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's
well, I think a big piece is, when I was doing personal training back in 2010, 2011, I had this idea of, starting a business and starting a health and fitness company, which is kind of what it's grown into. And hadn't done a lot online, and kind of went to Kelsey and was like, hey, I'm really burned out from personal training. I was working tons of hours, and just told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to focus on the online stuff. And then, instead of like questioning me whatsoever, she just said, sounds good. When are you quitting? And so I literally just quit my job within a week, and I started focusing on the online stuff. And even when we went and traveled, we took that leap forward to where you quit your job to join me to try to start this business. And it just goes back to having unending support, and no matter what you're doing. It's like, how many times have you said to me that you want to do something, and my response is, awesome, do it.
Right.
You know, and I think that's an important thing, where it's like, if your significant other, friend, whatever, has something that they really want to do, it's support them in that.
Totally. And you know, it's not like we always agree. Like we definitely don't always agree. There are certain things where it's like, I don't know if that's a great idea, and here's why, and then like talking through it. But I think there's a difference when it comes down to, I feel like this is my purpose. And wow, that was a great one. Nice job. Right? When it comes to the big deal things, being aligned in that is really important.
Yeah.
And has been a crucial piece of our marriage and friendship.
Yeah, and I think that's a big piece too. It's like, Kelsey and I work together every single day. We don't, you know.
That was a big wobble.
And I think that's, you know, for us, when we first got to know each other, we were friends.
Right.
And we've just remained best friends since. And that's, you know, an important piece, where it's like, you constantly want to be, you know, being friends is always a part, and it's like open communication through everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, I would, you've got this, Dan. I would never, I mean, we are absolutely not perfect. We've had a lot of really hard things that we've gone through. And I think also that has been an important part of us being able to get through everything. And, you know, before we were married, I went into treatment for an eating disorder, and Dennis was with me side by side every single step along the way. And because we went through that hard thing before we were married, I think that was really helpful for us to build. Bro, you got this. No, but I think that was really helpful for us to build a foundation, don't you think? Because it's, if you don't go through hard stuff before you make a big commitment, it's not like you have to go through super crazy things, but it's helpful to build a foundation to be able to know, like, okay, we know what it feels like to have a really hard time. We know what it feels like to disagree with each other extremely. I mean, I was angry with you for much of that period of time because you were challenging me in ways that I didn't want to be challenged, and ways that my mind was just struggling. But that was really helpful for us. Yeah,
and I think it just goes back to the communication piece, and not being afraid to communicate about the tough things, because that's really what you need to be communicating on.
Well, and it's interesting because, like, I mean, I think this is so dangerous right now. I mean, this is the real deal. It's wobbling. I don't know if y'all can see this. Ooh! I mean, we have, I think that one, I left that one because I know that one's a dangerous one. What's your plan of action?
I don't know. Kind of go with the flow. That's what I always do.
Yeah. Oh, that was an easy one. How did you get that?
I don't know. Just found it.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, check this out. Bottom rung.
We need to know, who do you think is going to even win this
at
this point?
I mean, this is a pretty close game so far. I can't remember what I was saying.
I don't know. I'm too focused, but what's your favorite place that we've traveled?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I loved Iceland because it feels like you're on a different planet. And that was a really, really cool experience. Just, I mean, it was miserable in the sense it was freezing, and I hate being cold, but it was really cool to just feel like you're on a different planet. How are you feeling? You're hesitant.
Great.
What was your favorite place?
I would say Iceland too, just the experience alone. And I think, you know, we get to travel a lot, and we always encourage people, you know, couples especially, to travel as well, just because it does help in terms of like bringing you closer. It's very challenging, especially when you're going to a country where you don't speak the language.
Right.
I remember when we first got to Spain, the jet lag and like all this stuff, and it's like you're just like very irritable and like little thing, and it's like you just learn to work through that stuff.
Right.
And really have like those open lines of communication. And so, and even like living in new places, like living, you know, we lived close to both of our families, but we also have lived further away to kind of like, you know, be on our own.
Right.
Especially being so young when we got married. And I think that's really important. I think it's just like trying new things is really important. And
that's such a good point. Like, so in 2014 is when I joined Dennis online, and we started doing fitness stuff. online, and we decided that we wanted to backpack through Europe for 4 months. You've got this, Den. You can do it. And so we decided we wanted to do that for 4 months, and we weren't making a lot of money at the time at all. But we were like, let's do it. It's something that we just really want to do. So we sold all of our stuff. We actually lived cheaper traveling like Europe than we were when we were living in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah.
We, had, I think, beef and rice for every single meal, like for 4 months. I mean, we really did it inexpensively, but it was a really great experience. Like, we were miserable for some of it, for sure. I remember, I mean, some of it for sure. Like, remember how my clothes were soggy the entire time we were in Paris. Like, it just rained the whole time and they wouldn't dry. And so I was soggy the entire time. But it was magical at the same time. You get a lot of amazing experiences. And that's the thing where it's like, not everything is perfect. Nothing is a fairy tale all the time. But it's a really cool thing to be able to work through the tough stuff. And this, you guys.
Oh my gosh, did you actually get that?
If I let go, I think it might fall. No! Shoot! And that, my friends, is Jenga. All right, so that is round 1, and I clearly lost, but it was a close game.
It was. Good job.
Very proud of you. So we are going to play a second round, which will be released soon for you guys to check out. But leave us a comment. Let us know if you have any questions that you want Dennis or myself or us together to answer. Let us know. We'd love to create more of these for you guys. So thanks so much for joining today. And again, make sure if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you click right here. You can check out our previous video right here. Go follow Dennis on Instagram. He's at denheen. You'll see a lot of pictures of our wiener dog, coffee, and travel adventures.
And you.
And me. Yeah.
More of her.
Just what everyone wants, right? So, all right, guys. So thank you so much for joining today, and we'll see you soon.